Hello, my name is Navigator, and it's quite the video today. So, fairly recently, I showed off in a recent pickups video that I got the McFarlane Batman the Animated Series Gray Ghost figure. And I was kind of saying that I was going to maybe, over time, piece by piece, grab these figures, over the course of the next week, and that is exactly what I did. I have now collected all the figures from this line. There were 4 in total. Like I said, though, the Gray Ghost was really elusive. He's a really rare figure. I was kind of heartbroken unboxing him, but the reason why I did that, you'll come to find out in a second. And then Roz, the classic Batman and Killer Croc, those were all like peg warmers, so I was no problem finding those. Got these all at my local Target, but yeah, like I said, Gray Ghost was really hard to find, so as soon as I got him, then I could buy out the rest of these figures. Why am I buying these, though? Well, this line of figures actually has a Batman the Animated Series Jonah Hex Build-A-Figure, and let me tell you guys, this was quite the expensive series to pick up. In total, this is about $150 worth of action figures. Really crazy. These things, at least for me, were way too expensive. This Build-A-Figure should not be, number one, this hard to find, and number two, this expensive. These figures are dang near $40 each, and personally, I don't think that they are like at that level. So, price aside, I said this would be a fairly brief video. Let's get into it because we have a lot to cover. So I'm going to go in order here of the kind of how I have the boxes lined up, and we will first start off with the Gray Ghost. So very quickly here, just look at the box. They're pretty much the same for all the figures. It just shows in the back here, which part you got, and then the other figures in the line. And you know what, actually, we'll do it each as we kind of get to it. But starting off with Gray Ghost, I'm going to verticalize him there so we can drop all the accessories out. He is predominantly, gray. He's kind of got these nice little black shoes down here at the bottom. I'm waiting for it to focus if it will. I hope it does. Let's find out. But he's got black shoes down here at the bottom, predominantly gray legs. He does have double jointed knees, but they are pinned, so that is a little bit of a downside. I'm trying to see if I can get some clarification there on those knees, but I guess not. My camera's going to be giving me issues today, it seems. Decent, again, though, decent leg articulation. He can do the splits for the most part, which is pretty nice. No ab articulation. And then he has single jointed arms. And then the hands here, the ones that he has equipped are just going to be those grappling hands, the Lego Man hands, as I like to call them. But he also has an extra hand for holding his pistol. And then I think he has a couple extra ones that we'll get to in a second here. Finally, though, this has to focus, is going to be the head sculpt here. And you can see he looks a little older and a little bit more like gaunt than I feel like he does in the show. But the glasses are there, and of course he has that gray fedora. And then finally, he has this really nice cape that kind of loops around to the back. And that is very malleable. You can actually kind of get some range with that. So I do apologize. The video is a little blurry today. Maybe it's the lighting or something, but there we have the Gray Ghost figure. Moving on to his accessories, he came with this little kind of like RC like rocket car. I forget. It's been a long time since I saw the episode, but we do have that. And then we also have the extra hands like I talked about. The first of which is going to be him holding a pen, almost like he's kind of like giving an autograph to Batman or something. And the other hand that we have is just kind of for one for him to hold this book. We move on to the next set of accessories, that being the book. And it's like a little Gray Ghost comic or something like that. But we have that. And then finally here, Gray Ghost pistol. And that is really cool looking. I like that a lot. Very, very nice. So there we go, the Gray Ghost. The final thing that he came with was this card here. So you got some art on the front and on the back. Simon Trent is the star actor from the Gray Ghost television series. Trent's admirable portrayal of the Gray Ghost was a huge influence on Bruce Wayne's childhood. As a kid, Bruce used to watch the show with his father. The Gray Ghost was Bruce's hero, and he still is. Love that. Gray Ghost, such an awesome character from the show. I think I'll toss the cards over there. So there's the Gray Ghost. Let's get him out of here because I'm trying to free up some space for the rest of these figures. There's quite a lot. Got 5 figures in total. Wink, wink. So let's move on to the next one here, that being Raj Al Ghul. So here's a quick look at the box. We have that there. All right, and then we'll move on to the figure. He doesn't have a ton going on with him. One of my biggest gripes is that he has this massive cape that kind of drapes over the entire figure that you really can't take off. Again, it's malleable. You can kind of articulate it, but I don't know. I'm not a huge fan of that. But down here at the bottom, he's got those black boots with like that blue little streak in there to kind of show off that they're sleek or shiny. He's got green legs here, single jointed there, so no double jointed, but he can really do the splits. There's a lot of articulation there in the crotch area. He's got this black belt here, and then kind of like this old medieval shirt that is green with the little kind of laces there on the front. I already showed off this kind of cape or shroud that he has that kind of molds to his body shape. And then, of course, we have that head of Raj Al Ghul with, you know, the gray streaks in there. Come on, focus up. There we go. And that looks really good. It does look good, but not really a figure that I'm super invested in. One of the other accessories he comes with is kind of this like Anubis mask, and you can just drape this right. Oh, actually, it's just a spare head, actually. You can pop the head off and pop this one on. Pretty cool. And then the rest of the accessories that he comes with are just going to be extra forearms. So he kind of has this one where he's reaching his hand out. Right there, and then we have more where it seems like he's like holding something. You can maybe put an accessory in there. And the hands that he has equipped are just going to be those normal kind of grappling hands. Or are they fists? They're fisted hands. So there we go. Raj Al Ghul, not my favorite from the line. Honestly, none of these figures are really too great, except for one, and we'll get to that in a second. And then, of course, we have the card here. You guys know who Raj is, though. I don't really need to explain that. Great ghost, though. I don't know if everybody knows who that is. All right, next up we have Killer Croc, and I have a little issue with him that was really my fault, to be honest. Here's a look at the box, though. There we go. So there's Killer Croc. All right, so as soon as I got him out of the packaging, I dropped him, and it actually broke off at the wrist, one of the extra hands that he came with. So the figure isn't broken. It's just that specific hand that is broken, and the peg broke off in there. So I don't know what to do. I'm going to try to extract it somehow and then resell it, because I was planning on reselling these as a whole, but I don't really like reselling broken figures. So I'm going to do something about that. But a quick look at the figure. I guess we'll do the accessories after. You know, white bare feet down here at the bottom. Not the typical Killer Croc color that you would see. And again, not focusing, I don't know why. But the white feet there. Single jointed blue pants here. There is a lot of range there, though, I will say. And he can do the splits like usual. Moving over here to the torso, he does have an ab crunch, so you can get a lot of motion there. Not a lot going backwards, though. Bro's got a really bad backer. Just bad plastic back there. Torso's pretty large. He's got these little kind of like scales all over his back. You can see his spine and kind of the back of his rib cage poking out. Single jointed arms there that do move. You get a full swap with the wrists there. And then he does have a bunch of extra hands. The ones that were equipped were going to be the fists. And then finally here we have that head sculpt there, which looks really good. This is probably my least favorite figure out of the series. I don't know. There's not a whole lot going on with it. He has some extra hands. Kind of got those open hands there. And then maybe just kind of like for holding something here. There you go. And then, of course, I have that broken off fist right there. So kind of a bummer with that figure. I'm not really sure what the plan is with this one, but we'll figure it out. So I'm going to move him off to the side, and then I'll show off his card, and we'll move on to the penultimate figure here, which is going to be the Caped Crusader himself. But there's Killer Croc. Awesome. All right, and then finally here we have Classic Batman. One that I probably will be keeping just because I am a fan of Batman the Animated Series. We just have Classic Batman here. Nothing really too crazy. The black boots down there, double jointed at the knees, which looks really nice. The black trunks there with the tool belt. No ab articulation, but you kind of have that broad chest, the Batman logo there. Single jointed arms with the gauntlets there. He does have extra hands, I believe, so we'll show those off in a second. But he has a fist on one hand, and then kind of just, another fist on that hand. So there you go. The one downside is the face is a little pale, and it's honestly like a little pink too. It's like this weird pale pink. I don't know. Doesn't really match Gray Ghost skin tone at all, so I was a little bit of a bummer. But I don't know. Overall, though, pretty sweet. And then he does have kind of this like cloth cape that you can move around and stuff, and that looks really nice. So overall, the Batman figure probably is the best just from the set alone. And then the accessories that he comes with. He's got a bunch of extra hands here. So these are going to be the Batarang holding hands, because he does come with a Batarang that we'll show off here in a second. And then we also have just holding hands, just those grappling hands, the Lego Man hands, as I like to call them. The last hand that we have here is just one with the grapnel gun or grapnel launcher kind of built in there. And then we also have a Batarang and a grapnel launcher right there. So not bad. I'm liking the accessories. I really am liking the accessories. All right, so there's Batman. We will get his box and figure out of here. Sorry, I didn't even show off the box or the card yet. Moving a little too fast because I'm eager to build this Jonah Hex, folks. Let me tell you. All right, I'll drop him off over there. Here's the card for Batman. Pretty cool looking card, I will say. And then the box, as promised. We got that as well. All right. So with each of these figures, we got a piece to build the Jonah Hex Build-A-Figure, and that is exactly what I plan on doing right now. I forget which, yeah, I probably should tell you in case somebody really needs to know. All right, so the arms right here, these come with classic Batman. The legs, I believe these come with Ra's al Ghul. The head, along with the knife and the two pistols, those come with Killer Croc. And then the torso here, arguably the most important one, comes with the rarest figure, that being the Gray Ghost. So there we go. All right, let's build this guy up. I think I'm going to throw the head on first because I have some worries about that being a little too tough. So let's pop that on. Oh, that was actually very, very easy. Interesting. All right, so there we go. Man, he's got a really bad back there. Oh my gosh, Jonah. Yikes. All right, and then we'll move on to the arms here. Why not? We'll pop those in. Oh, man. This is what I'm worried. I'm worried about it being too stiff. McFarlane is notoriously too stiff. So here, I might need to take this off camera kind of for a second and push it in there. Oh, this is going to be rough, folks. This is going to be rough. Ah, come on, Jonah. And given that Croc already broke, there we go. Ooh, that was a really nice sound popping in there. It was like cracking a knuckle. I'll be quiet. Oh, I didn't make it on that one. Bummer. But there we go. We got the arms in there okay. And he's starting to look pretty dang good there. Oof, that's going to be nice. Wait, what's going on here? Something's going on with that arm. I don't know what it is, but something's going on over on that other side. All right. Let's throw the legs in here. I'm really liking the gun belt that he's got. It's really cool looking. Oh, man. And that is the perfect size, too. That is so nice. All right, and then the one downside, though, is he has two pistols and a knife. But I think he's only got the one holster there. So that's a little bit of a bummer. We can't really store the knife or the other pistol anywhere else. But let's take a look at the figure, and then we'll get to the accessories. So the Jonah Hex Build-A-Figure, down here at the bottom, he's got some really nice kind of light brown cowboy boots with the heels there. And then predominantly the coat and the pants are going to be this like very light, like grayish blue or like blue steel, I would say. He's got single jointed knees. On the legs here, he does have a holster for the revolver. We'll throw one of those in there just to see how it looks for right now. So let's do that. Toss one of those in there. Is that how it's supposed to go? I think. So you got that one right there. You can slide that in there. He's got this really cool gun belt here with the blue buckle. And then you can see along the sides there are kind of like little cartridges or something that look like cartridges. And that, of course, continues onto the back of the belt there, or at least I thought it did. He's kind of got a black Henley down here, which is very nice. And I guess suspenders as well, even though he has a belt on. I'm not sure why. Trench coat here, and that kind of continues with that blue steel color. Gray gloves here. He does have some extra hands. Oh, no, he doesn't have extra hands, actually. But we have those gray gloves there, which look very nice. He's got this nice kind of tan skin tone. And then finally, here we have the head sculpt there, that typical Jonah Hex scarred face on one side, and then normal face on the other with that Confederate-esque hat, that kind of southern hat. So there we go. Jonah Hex, of course, continues to wear his Confederate uniform because he wants to remember the men that he fought with. All right. One of the pistols in the holster, but it's identical to this one, so we don't have to go over both. But here is one of those like Navy revolver-esque Colts that, or revolvers, I should say, that Jonah Hex has. We have that. We have two of those, actually. And then we have this nice kind of like Bowie knife, hunting knife. And that is very cool as well. All right, folks, that is going to be it. And I cannot believe that I have this Build-A-Figure. It's kind of crazy. Oh, my gosh. My AEW setup just totally toppled over. Hook just took out Swerve, and Swerve almost took out Eddie. Oh, my gosh there, folks. Yikes. All right, but yeah, I just can't believe that I have this Jonah Hex Build-A-Figure. It's really crazy. This was quite the journey trying to find all these figures, especially Gray Ghost. But I'm a massive Jonah Hex fan, and really any action figure of his I'm going to want. So I'm very excited to pose this around. Very excited to find a place to display him. And with that being said, folks, I apologize. I got a paper cut, actually, from opening these boxes. But with that being said, a 15-minute video now. I got to end it somewhere. As always, my name is Navigator. Have a nice day. Take care.